Thanks for coming round. We'll make you laugh before you go. Welcome to the Mermen. Welcome to the show.
Have you noticed that like merman culture is exploding right now? Like it's in our group chat. There's been more and more things that we found that we're sharing, or is it just our algorithms are sending those to us now?
I don't know if it's the algorithm or not, but yeah. What did you guys send in? Did Louise send that? What was that?
Yeah, it was like a mermaid.
There's a
parade
that's in the Bronx.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I think of when I think of mermaids. The Bronx,
Coney Island Mermaid Parade.
Real merman.
When is it?
Heavy area.
It just happened yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh, can't believe we weren't grand marshals.
Yeah,
Because we don't have the tails.
Yeah, we haven't really immersed into the world. I mean, it's the name of our podcast. But I follow all these people online now. I see them dressed up.
We got to watch this Netflix show, Mer People or whatever. We got. I'm gonna binge that as soon as I have time.
Yeah, you said the last episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna invest time into our podcast and watch that.
I forgot that I was supposed to watch that. I watched the rest of Barry.
I gotta watch. I haven't watched that. I gotta get caught up on that. I've been busy.
Speaking of that, Barry, very dark show. The last season.
A lot of murder.
And some of the listeners reached out to me after the episode where I was talking about killing myself in 15 years.
They reached out to me too, dude. Everyone's worried about you.
I said 15 years.
I know.
Don't worry about it now. Yeah.
That's what I told him. I go, hey man, he's fine. If you could remind me this in a decade, I'll start like paying attention. To
not even a decade. 14 years from now, start thinking about it. Be like, I wonder what's going on for us. I'll be dead by then by some sort of health issue, but or who knows? I'll be
maybe you'll be a dad. You'll be in love. You'll want to live forever.
Be a dad?
Yeah, maybe you knock up some little senorita down in Mexico, and you want to be Papa Forrest for
until
you're 100 years old.
I'm tired all the time.
I didn't say you planned it. It just happened, and then it changed the progression of your life, bud.
I'm not raising that kid.
So he's gonna be 6, and you're gonna be like, "Look, I made a promise on a podcast. Got to go."
Yeah.
You're a bad
it's
dad.
Not a promise.
You're a bad dad.
It's good,
Forrest.
Good planning. That's what it is.
Well, happy Father's Day, everybody.
Anyways, thanks for reaching out, everybody. Okay. Gosh.
The Naughty Mermaid did text in too, kind of with concern after that episode. So.
Well, she is the sweetest, and
What'd she say?
Fine.
She said, a joke can only exist if there's some truth behind it, and this 15-year plan of yours hit a few personal triggers, but I won't get into that. Look, I believe in the right to die, but before you go to the whole Hunter S. Thompson route, I've got a question for you. What would your life have to look like 15 years from now for you to want to continue living? Your health, your relationships, your finances, your location, your passion projects, and pastimes? I really want to know what would bring you the most peace, joy, and
living on a beach in Mexico, man, with some senorita, and you got a little 6-year-old baby, Forrest.
15.
A little baby fofo.
Well, I already said it. Probably money, I'd say, because for me, it's like I'm just planning out the like 65. Like I'm not going to be doing the road in my 60s. It's depressing.
I'm gonna do the road till the day I die.
Yeah, well, good luck. All right, that'll happen because that's what happens to comedians. Every comedian dies in a hotel. Bob Saget was worth $1 bazillion. He died in a fucking hotel. It doesn't matter. So I don't want to be doing that forever. And so, right, I'd either have to go back to I just, when you're 6, you're supposed to be retiring then, and then I'm kind of like, I'll just make my money stretch to right then, and that's how I'm looking at it. It's a sound business decision. But thanks for reaching out, Naughty Mermaid. I don't know. First of all right, Naughty Mermaid, you don't tell us how a joke is written. Let's start with that right now.
Well, she's into like creating and stuff. Like,
I know she said
she's a writer.
There's got to be some truth if there's. No, I mean, no. I haven't thought about killing myself in at least 20 years. Like that's when I was gambling and stuff like that, for sure back then.
So there's some truth that you've. Look, someone who's never thought about killing themselves isn't going to come up with that joke. So I think she's kind of right.
There's people out there that haven't thought about killing themselves? Oh, right in. Join the conversation. Right now, I'm fine. I got a dog to take care of.
I would
Don't worry about it.
murder everyone in the world to not have to kill myself.
You'd murder everybody in the world. What are you, a narcissist?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think
What-
I've ever thought about killing myself?
What if someone said, "Hey, Dave, peace on earth, harmony, environmental utopia. All you gotta do is kill yourself."
This is what I would think. I would be
We're
like,
gonna name all the schools after you.
I would. This is
Fortunately, your name is so common. People are like Dave Williamson. Yeah, I know Dave Williamson.
so. I was
Named
watching.
after my friend's dad.
Yeah, I was watching Wonder Woman the other day with my kids, and the guy sacrifices him. Spoiler alert: sacrifices himself at the end of the movie, where he goes like, "I got to fly this plane so that the bombs blow up out there and it doesn't kill people on Earth, whatever." And I was like, "Would I do that?" And I'm like, I would claim that I would do that. I would be like, "This is the noble thing. Name all the schools after me." But then in my brain, I'd be thinking, I bet I could figure out a way to live and be the hero.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do. Someone would be like, a genie would come and be like, if you killed yourself right now, peace on earth, everyone's going to be happy, and it's just you have to make the sacrifice. I'd be like, I bet I could come up with a way to do both.
Yeah, well, this was a trick question for you, though, because if you asked me the same question, I'm like, absolutely, I wouldn't kill myself then, because I don't want all the people on the earth to be good and survive and stuff. I want chaos.
That's not true.
No, I think the whole Thanos thing on Avengers, I'm always like, yeah, fuck yeah, half the people, that's what we need, some culling.
So
Anyways, I'm not killing myself, everybody, but
you're the only
that
one on that
is-
side of the pandemic?
No, well, look, the pandemic, people were suffering. This guy just snaps his fingers, Thanos, and they're gone. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also, it's like anytime there's that movie, I think it was The Kingsman, when he's like, "Yeah, we need to get rid of people, environmental." But I'm like, yeah, no, I'm with that.
Oh, yeah. You would wipe out the human race just so the manatees could flourish.
Yeah, it's called nihilism. Look it up.
Nihilism?
Someone's like gonna be like, "Yeah, you're nihilism," and anyway, I'm fine.
What does that mean?
14 years, set your
you
calendars.
choose like nature over people? Is that what nihilism is?
No, nihilism is like nothingness. Like, I don't have the exact definition. Luis could look it up if he wasn't on Tinder. But it's like it's not. That's not choosing the environment of it. Nihilism is just like, who gives a shit about anything kind of thing. Yeah.
See, like I even take it a step further.
So I guess that isn't nihilism. I guess I care, but I don't know.
The rejection of all religious and moral principles and the
There you
belief that life is meaningless.
Life's meaningless.
Yeah, I am
This
worried
isn't
about you
making
now.
my case. I'm fine, everybody.
I am worried about you now.
People have said I'm a nihilist since you've known me, so I'm still alive, so it's fine. Like
I even take it a step further where, like, you know how like during the pandemic, like that first month where everything was like shut down and like the dolphins came into the Venice canals and it was like nature was healing itself. It seemed like just because human consumption was so far down.
I don't think that necessarily nature was healing itself. I think the animals were like, they're all dead because they're inside and they're like,
Our plan worked.
if there was a house party, right?
Hey, the bats did it.
Yeah. If there was a house party,
Those bats said they were going to do this and we didn't think they could pull it off, but they fucking did it.
you think it was bats, by the way. Okay, if there was a house party, all right, and it was kind of like a Noah's Ark situation, like the animals were coming in like 2 by 2, whatever, just to hang out at this house party. Like, let's say like an alligator walked in, a couple alligators walked in, and then like some birds and some turtles. Maybe there was like a moose or something. Like the alligators in the world would eat a bird or a turtle. They do sometimes, but eventually they might have a couple drinks and be like, "Hey, you're not so bad." They could still hang out. I've seen a bird ride on the back of an alligator. Like, I've seen them living in an alligator hole together. So what my point is all the other animals would find some common ground. They'd have a conversation, but if humans walked in that party, literally like record scratch, I'd be like, fucking these guys. And then they'd just all go to this side, and no one would talk to the humans. They'd just be in the corner with their drink, just sitting there like, hey, well, everyone's kind of mean here. So I think during the pandemic, wasn't like nature was healing itself. I really think they were like, yo, they're all gone. Let's go. Let's go fucking hang out, and this is cool. And then they're like, oh, fuck, they're still alive.
Well, when it seemed like it was good for the planet, like I was on board with it for a minute. I was like, man, that's really cool, dude. Yeah, we should. Maybe it would be a good thing if like humans had less of an impact or footprint on the earth.
Of course, that would be.
And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, oh man, I really miss organized water polo.
Yeah. It's worth the planet just crumbling.
Like an apocalypse is kind of cool. Like if you didn't have like debt and you didn't have like societal norms, and it's like just survival of the fittest, and kind of brought back to our roots. But then I was like, yeah, but then we can't have basketball.
Well, listen to this. I'll tell you this. I'm fine, everybody. Some of the listeners reached out. I'll tell you who didn't ask me about it is my dad, and I talked to him, and he said he listens to the podcast, and he didn't seem to be concerned. That doesn't mean that's a good or bad thing.
Yeah, that was a hell of a segue to get into Father's Day talk.
No. But I'm saying he said he would. He might call into the podcast one day. We'll see.
You know who didn't give a shit?
Yeah. I was looking at my family. Like, the only person in my family that listens to this podcast would be my dad, who I've just recently, reconnected with. Yeah. So, anyways, so either that means the listeners care. Or my family does. I don't know what that means. He said he's going to call in at some point, or we'll have him on the show at some point. I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like it might be weird. We'll see. Yeah.
Second quarter.
Do you have any memories? Was your dad around even like for the first few years of your life?
Yeah. For a little bit. Him and my mom like got divorced when I was young, or split up.
Yeah.
And then he was in Miami for a little bit, and then he left, and then I saw him a couple times. But now, when I was really young, I didn't. I have some memories from when I was really young, yeah. But then in the middle of my life, no. I mean, I had spoken to him a few times here and there and stuff, but now I was supposed to be there for Thanksgiving last year with the Shaw clan, but I'm like 99% going this year. I had to miss it last year because of the Asia trip and stuff like that. But.
Oh man, that's gonna be so cool. You're gonna show up, and it's just gonna be like 23 people who all are just versions of you, and it's just gonna be like, what is Thanksgiving anyways? Why do we do? I know, right? I went past the cranberries.
And everybody's upbeat. I've already known my cousin. When I met my cousin John, I had reconnected with him from when I was like, I don't know, 5 or 4 or something, and I reconnected with him maybe like 12 years ago or something like that, 13 years ago. So I've hung out with him and his brothers, and then another cousin, Sarah, on the side. Like I thought she was even in LA for a little bit as a traveling nurse and stuff like that. So I've reconnected with my cousin. I've met a lot of them. It's just some of the older people I haven't, like my dad's brother and his wife and stuff like that. I think it'll be nice, but
Yeah.
So I'll have an update on the Shaw clan reunion. Anyways, Father's Day. Yeah. It's Father's Day. So I didn't do anything for Father's Day. I don't have a kid. I didn't.
Arnie, did you get your card?
Arnie didn't give me shit.
Oh man.
Arnie.
I was supposed to help him with that. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's on me.
Yeah. He's got a burner phone right now. You can get a hold of him on that. So.
Well, when I was, my mom and my biological dad split up when I was like 1 or something like that. And then I'd visit him a couple times, and then it got to be like I'd visit him once a year. He lived in like Fort Lauderdale. We were in like Miami. And then the last time I went and visited him, I was maybe like 6, I'm going to guess, 5 or 6, something like that. And I left my GoBot at his house. And then like it was, I'm sure I longed to connect with my father, but I also was just like, man, am I ever going to get that GoBot back?
Yeah, very important.
Because they were like, well, hold on to you. Next time you visit, we'll have it here for you. And I'm just like, man. And so I just saw him for the first time since I was a kid just a few years ago. Yeah. And I wish I'd remembered to bring that. I should have been like, hey, yo, you got that GoBot still? What a moment. That would have been a move me moment, right? What if I said that and then he pulled out Scooter from the GoBots? Yeah. And he was like, I've been carrying this for 35 years.
Yeah.
Dude, I just got goosebumps.
I didn't.
No, the GoBot.
A GoBot? I mean, it's not
even a Transformer, a GoBot.
Okay.
You remember GoBots?
Yeah, they were like Transformer knockoffs, right?
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
They're
pretty dope, though.
I remember a GoBot, yeah.
So I was a good dad. Kids? I was a good dad in recent history.
Father's Day is not the same all around the world, by the way. So it's Father's Day in the United States. I think Canada. It's like different in different countries.
Yeah.
It's like it seems like something we could all get on board with around the world and be like, this is Father's Day and Mother's Day and so on. Grandparents' Day, sham. But anyways, what'd you do for Father's? What do you mean you're a good father? What'd you do?
Well, our Miami Heat and our Florida Panthers both had magical runs this year as 8 seeds in the playoffs. Both made it to the finals of their respective leagues. And my sons are both big South Florida sports fans because they were born in Miami and they're my boys. And usually it's a burden. I've felt like I've burdened them with the fandom of being a Miami sports fan. But with this recent run of the Hurricanes making the Final Four and now
Heat, or are they too young to remember the?
No, they remember that. No, the
Yeah.
Heat have been good to them, but
Yeah, the Heat's been good.
but it was a down regular season and then surprised us with this run.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, anyways, I was able to score 2 tickets. Well, I could have got more, but I got tickets to see
cool.
Game 3. I'm just saying I would have brought my whole family.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you were there. If my son couldn't go, you would have been next on the list, bud.
Yeah, they got blown out.
Yeah, but I wanted to take my son. So my wife
Yeah, it was
had
cool on your Instagram story. It was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I knew you were going. I knew you were going to surprise him. So that was cool to see the video of you surprising him at the gig that you run in El Segundo. And then I think I wrote to you, but you're probably like the service. I go, what are these seats? You were like courtside.
Yeah, well,
Like you were like, you could see like Jalen Rose and the whole like ESPN crew. And then he was like shagging rebounds.
Yeah.
He was on the court like shagging rebounds for like Bam and Vincent, right? And then he got to shoot a free throw or some shit.
So wait, well, back.
Yeah, I was like, these seats. Oh yeah, sorry.
So my son helps me once a month. I run a show in El Segundo where we sell barbecue out of the back of the room. And he helps me with that. And it's been cool because I've been able to teach him about business and stuff. He goes to Costco with me and we buy the food and then I make him keep the receipts and then we total it up and then we total up the money we made. And I teach him like, this is overhead. This is like, gross profit, net profit, all that shit, right?
What are you making there? About 20, 30,000 a night? Barbecue?
No. Normally, if we're lucky, we split it 50-50, whatever the profits are. We both make maybe a little over $100.
All right.
But yeah, it's good money for him. And so, anyways, he was there helping me on Tuesday night, and I usually give him a little kudos. Hey, everyone, give it up for Owen for helping with the barbecue. I was by everyone, cheers, whatever. So then I go, hey, Owen, you know what? I go, come on up, buddy. And then Owen walked up to where the crowd was, and he was like, what are you doing? And I was just like, hey guys, today was Owen's last day of school, and he had a really great year, and I'm proud of you. And he really did have a great year. He did good.
Who was filming that, by the way?
Just different people with phones.
No, but on your story, somebody. Because it was side-eyeing that. I
Probably my wife.
I thought,
maybe?
that was crazy. Because he was like this, kind of like, what's going
No,
on?
like
Yeah.
what is he doing?
Yeah.
So I mean it. I was like, man, he really stepped out of his comfort zone this year. Did a lot of things, like new things, and I'm just proud of him. It was cool to reward him some way, So I said, hey, buddy, I got tickets to go to Game 3 of the Miami Heat. They play tomorrow. Do you wanna go with me? And he was like stunned. He was like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. I said, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, we get on a flight in 2 hours. Go home and pack your bag. As soon as this show's over, we're heading to the airport.
Yeah.
So we flew out that night on a red eye, stayed in a hotel on Miami Beach. Did
you sleep on the plane?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't sleep on planes. When I saw that, I was like,
well, we upgraded to first class.
I saw that. You guys, I could tell. I fly a lot. I was looking at the seats. I'm like, you're in some good seats. I don't know if those are first or whatever. Those are good.
Yeah. So he got the whole experience, man. Get to go, do a trip the right way. And then we went to the Miami Heat store.
You went to Sandwichery.
Yeah, La Sandwichery. We rode bikes down there.
We'll take Louise there.
Oh, that's the best.
This is a sandwich.
So good.
I saw that.
They
That
put
was
fruit on my sandwich. It was so good.
That was the thing I was honestly most jealous of.
Yeah.
Was not
The
even
La
going to the game. I was
Sandwichery.
like, I would love a sandwich from Sandwichery right now.
It's the freshest sandwich you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get lettuce and tomatoes.
It's in an
and,
alleyway on Miami Beach.
and
It's
when
the
you're drunk
best.
at 2 a.m., you think you want fried food, but that fresh ass fucking sandwich at La Sandwichery, woo, makes you feel healthy.
A lot of the clubs I used to go to when I was younger were within a half block to a block walking distance of Sandwichery, and I've eaten there at like whatever fucking time in the morning a million times. It's so good.
Yeah.
That dressing that you put on there.
Yeah.
The bread, it's the best. Anyway, Sandwichery, shout out.
So then we go to the game and shout out, Louis Vera, who will, I think Owen will forever now know him as Uncle Louis. I think he's earned that on this trip.
Yeah, who's he? Who got you his tickets?
He's a old family friend, business partner with my family, Vera Cadillac up in Pembroke Pines, and just
a lot of advertising we're doing on the show.
Yeah,
Sandwichery, Cadillac,
give him a shout out. But just he's like an uncle to me, and then my buddy Steve Stowe works for the Heat, and I've just known him forever. He's always
Do you still
been
know
real
Bernie?
kind. No,
He got knocked out by Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that was awesome. I kept thinking, I was going to text my buddy and be like, yo, if you need someone to step, but I'm sure they have an
Did you see him went to hospital?
I saw that Conor McGregor did a skit with him and punched him and apparently knocked him out.
Yeah, he hit him for real. So the skit was he was supposed to hit him and then he was supposed to knock out and he was spraying. He had Conor McGregor was promoting some spray that's a pain relief.
Oh, and then he's supposed to come back to life?
Did you see him spraying it?
No, and then he can come back to life?
Yeah. So, no. So he punches him and then he's on the ground and I think the people realize oh, he's screwed. And so he's spraying the spray on him, but they're dragging him away, and he's
that's where it works. That's where it works.
Yeah. And then the next day was Heat mascot is went to the hospital after Conor McGregor because Conor McGregor decked him. And it's fucking Conor McGregor, so he's a professional puncher. And I was like, dude, I don't care how padded that thing is.
Yeah, man.
So I think he had maybe a low grade concussion or something, and. Yeah.
And trust me, I've been in that suit before.
Lawsuit.
Yeah. I've been in that suit before. Even when you're healthy, it's hard to lug that thing around. And so I'm sure he was all seeing stars.
That was your game, right?
No, that happened game 4.
That was the next game. Okay, yeah, your game.
So then they surprised me anyways. This is, why it pays to have great friends who are kind people. And we walk in. And then we got there super early, so they're walking us down on the floor, kind of. And we go by, Jalen Rose and Will Vaughn and Stephen A. And Goldie. So we walk by those guys, and then he keep walking us around. And then, security was super tight because it was the finals, Sure, so they were like, hey, man, you guys can't come any closer. You got to stay over in this section, but Owen, come with me. And they walked him out onto the court. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? This
you didn't know that was happening?
No, I didn't know they'd figure that. Because I don't even think they knew whether they were going to be able to pull it off.
He looked shocked, too. He was kind of just standing there
he was looking at me, and I was like, I don't know. Go with it.
Do stuff.
So then they walked him out and handed him off to the training staff, and the training staff told him what to do, and then they started shagging rebounds for the players that were out there just putting up shots before the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, Owen's shagging rebounds for Bam right now. This is so awesome. And then
Does he think that his rebounding cost him the game? He didn't rebound and give him feeding.
I asked him after the game. I go, "Do you think you could do something better? That you could have done something better to help them?
He really did
be more prepared." Well, the best part was at first they were just getting the rebounds and then sending it to an assistant coach, which the assistant coaches are Caron Butler and Anthony Carter, guys who played when we were younger.
Players, yeah.
And so
Anthony Carter's an assistant coach.
Yeah,
okay,
I think he's the D League coach too.
I knew Caron Butler was. Yeah. All right.
So they were getting the balls and then sending them out to the assistant coaches. So the first ball,
because they're going to feed them in the right spot.
Yeah, they're going to feed the players.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So then they hand the ball to Owen, and he just didn't know what to do yet because it was the first time they handed him a ball. So he got nervous and just launched it at the assistant coach, and the assistant coach wasn't looking, and it started going straight at the TV crew across the court. And I was like, "Oh, please hit them! That would be the greatest thing ever." If Stephen A. Smith was up there, it was just like, no way the Heat win. Just gets taken out. And Owen's like, oh shit, And luckily the trainer that was helping him started sprinting towards the ball.
Was it going towards Stephen A. Smith?
Oh, it was going straight for them.
But him, Stephen A. Smith.
Oh no, it went just right to their
That's
their
the guy
TV
you want to hit.
setup.
I don't mind Stephen A. Smith, but he'd be the funniest guy to hit in that group.
It went just right to their TV setup. It was so fun. But then he got to stay out there and I mean
didn't he shoot a shot?
Yeah, and then when the players in between the players coming out, they were letting him take shots and
yeah.
But I told him, here's the life lesson. Owen has never cared much about he's always been watching the Heat and watching college basketball. He's been a fan of watching sports.
Yeah.
But he's never really gone out and played much basketball. But we have a hoop in our backyard, and the past year he's gotten into it. He goes in the back and he shoots, and if he misses, he does push-ups, and he's used it for physical fitness and whatever. And he's really pushed himself out of his comfort zone to do cool stuff like that. And so I told him, I go, look, dude, this year, you going back there and shooting hoops, you didn't know you were going to get an opportunity to go out on an NBA court before an NBA Finals game and shoot on the basket, and you were making baskets. I go, if you weren't out there practicing for the past year, you would have never been able to do that, nerves and just whatever. But the muscle memory kicks in.
Plus, you don't know when they're going to call you for that thing. They're like, make a shot from half court, win $500,000, and you always see. Sometimes there's people that are decent.
I used to practice that shot over and over and over and over again as a kid. I could hit a half court shot right now.
Some people come out there and you're like, oh, you've never held a basketball. Mm-hmm. You're like, and then they just airball it or they hit some. Yeah.
But it was a cool life lesson. I was like, buddy, instead of sitting in front of sitting on the couch or just playing video games all the time. I go, you went in the backyard and you shot around hoops, and now it paid dividends when you got an opportunity to do something cool, and you pulled it off.
Look at you. You're a great dad.
Yeah. So anyways, Father's Day was... Every day is Father's Day to me.
Okay. It was like the story was good, and then you had to end it with something dumb. Even though
I felt like I needed a bow.
Tinder. Yeah, he
felt like I needed a little bow.
He was like, "What?" And he's like, "I got to stop swiping right here."
You should. All right, let me try again. Shouldn't wait for Father's Day to look for a reason to be a good dad.
Yeah. That was worse.
Dave Williamson.
Oh,
Yeah, wow.
Michael Biamonte was there. We saw him. We got to say hi to Mike. And then it was so funny. Instead of being like, hey, this is the guy that you just heard on the announcement, I told Owen, I go, that's the guy who does the imaging for our podcast.
The imaging, yeah, the sound drops. Yeah,
That's what you call it, right? Imaging?
I don't know. Do you call it imaging?
I don't.
It was cool because
Assets?
because everything
Calling assets? Yeah.
during everything when it's nationally televised, you can hear his voice too.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's our podcast guy right there.
That's it.
2
Yeah.
minutes
That we barely
2 minutes.
use because Luis is lazy.
Yeah, fucking national treasure. Well, at least South Florida treasure.
Third quarter.
All right. What was there's something I fucking forgot what we. Oh, the trailer. We have a trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna bring this up on here.
I know.
Because-
We want to sell our trailer. We are partners in a 17-foot travel trailer.
I've never used it.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to. I haven't.
Well, we still need to use it before we sell it. We need to
keep
go down
saying
to.
this, but I
let's
don't
go to
know when-
Dockweiler. Let's go to
You
Dockweiler.
said fucking Dockweiler's. I don't even know what Dockweiler's is. You've said Dockweiler's to me 20 fucking times. Go to Dockweiler's, get a case of beer.
Oh, we should get a case of beer. That's a good idea.
And Dockweiler's. What the fuck's Dockweiler's, first of all?
Dockweiler is there's a RV park on the beach 2 minutes from my house.
Why is it called Dockweiler's?
It's Dockweiler State Beach. That's what it's called.
I hate the name.
It's probably named after somebody.
Yeah, if there's somebody out there named Dockweiler,
Sounds like a.
don't wait 15 years.
That was one of the GoBots. It was one of the GoBots. It was a doc that turned into a Rottweiler.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
So we bought this travel trailer.
I put a lot of miles on it.
Dave took it around the country, did a whole barbecue tour.
You paid for half of it.
You've gone. What do you mean?
You paid for half the trailer, and then I used it a ton, and you haven't used it a single time.
You did a whole bunch of shit to it. Like on the thing, it was like we need a new battery and this and that, whatever. I'm like, all right, just split all these costs. I've split. I just gave you the registration. It's like, yeah,
It's been a great situation
I
for
haven't
me.
used it at all.
You've been a
Dave's
great
able to use
partner.
it at half price. I've wanted to sell it for months. You said you would sell it, and you still haven't put it out there. It's just
Well, you
costs
were
us
in
money.
Europe or something. I don't want to put it.
I don't need to be here when we got to be there together.
Oh yeah, you got to be ready when the buyer's hot. They're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "I want to buy tomorrow."
ready.
Oh, sorry, you can't take it because my partner who has to sign the title isn't here. Sorry, and then they go, "Well, I'll just take it," and then we never see those people again.
No, before I have the title.
Oh, and then I see you
it's
want me
al-
to do all the work.
It's already
I see.
signed.
You're gone.
It's
You're
already
gallivanting
signed.
around Europe.
I've signed it. I signed it before I left because in case you did sell it by some miracle we're gone, I would have said, yeah, go get the title at my house. It's signed.
Oh, this is new information. You never told me this.
Yeah, but don't act like the title signing was the reason you haven't put it on.
Well, I didn't want to put it up because until you got back. But then, yeah, since you've been back, I just haven't had time. I've been very busy taking my kid to Miami and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, being Father of the Year. All right, well, let's get on it. If anybody wants a trailer with Dave's face on it, it's got a wrap on it still. Is your
wrap-
face still on it?
Yeah, the wrap protects it from the sun and whatever, and we can peel that off as soon as you're ready to purchase.
Yeah, we got to sell it. But but the pictures are going to go up with your face on it.
No, we'll use the old stock photos.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get on it. So I don't know if who would want a trailer on here on this podcast.
It's a good little trailer.
It's great. I've been inside
Perfect
it.
for a little weekend.
John, yeah, it's a great trailer. Let's
Let's go stay at Dockweiler this weekend, and then you'll see how great it is. We can take pictures.
I can't this weekend. I have a gig.
Oh, where's your gig?
Well, since we recorded this before, it was the U.S. Open thing I'm doing.
Oh yeah, damn it. Hey, could you get me into that?
No.
Come on, bro.
What, the gig or U.S. Open?
U.S. Open.
This for the gig, they were like, "We're gonna pay you, and you get one ticket." And I go,
I almost scored a ticket
Who goes to the
yesterday.
golf by themselves? And then they got me another ticket, but someone's already claimed it.
Oh, you want to take Owen?
Someone's already claimed the ticket.
What do you mean they claimed it? That means you invited somebody is what you mean by
Yes,
that. Okay.
that's what I meant. Yeah,
You worded it like that so I wouldn't get mad that you didn't invite me. Who says that?
I'm
Someone
not-
already claimed the
I'm not
ticket
worried
that I
you're gonna get
offered
mad.
them.
You just told a story of going to the Heat and you could have gotten tickets but didn't. So I'm not mad. I'm more mad about the sandwichery. Should have brought that back.
Should have brought you some back.
Yeah. Anyways, look for that on the Mermen chat page.
Yeah, and you can't just haphazardly put this shit up either. You got to be ready to. Once you put that stuff up, it's like it's go time. Managing all that.
That's not a word, by the way. What you just said.
Facebook, what?
Haphazardly.
Yeah, haphazardly.
Haphazardly.
It's haphazardly.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means the same thing that you think haphazardly means.
What is a prefix of hap? It's not haphazardly.
No.
This one actually is blowing my mind. I've never heard hap. I never knew that. Hap?
And now anytime this happens, you make me think that I don't know what I'm talking about because you keep saying it over, but I'm positive. It's haphazardly, isn't it? Let me
Look that up.
Haphazard, lacking any obvious principle of organization.
So haphazardly is not a thing?
Yeah, you've been
I
saying
thought it was
all-
like you just do something like, I'm hazardly doing it. Or if you're just kind of not into it, you do it haphazardly.
Does anyone say haphazardly?
Haphazard.
Well,
Yeah, no,
type
but-
in haphazard and see if anything pops up.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be someone just like you on Reddit. It's like everybody chime in on this.
I mean, look it up. Like, put in some effort looking it up. Don't do it haphazardly. Like, I thought it was like half-ass. Like, you do something half-ass. You do it haphazardly.
Yeah,
I've used that wrong a lot in my life.
haphazardly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you say it, and then I didn't hear anything you said after that. I'm like, you're not saying haphazardly, are you? Yeah, I don't even know what you're
Luis,
talking
are
about
you
now.
still looking it up?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's hap
Yeah,
for sure.
one hundo.
All right. Learned something today.
All right. Anyways, you can't put stuff haphazardly on the internet to sell it.
Yeah, you got to be ready to work
Do
it.
you want to
because,
use it
man,
in a sentence now? Go ahead.
Yeah, you can't haphazardly put something on the internet.
It's
You
one word, by the way.
haphazardly.
Yeah.
You can't haphazardly put it up there. You gotta be ready to. You got to be ready to work the deal. Otherwise, you miss the buyers when they're not ready, and or someone's trying. Did you guys play a trick on me, by the way?
I'm not happing, by the way. I'm full hazardly right now.
I've gotten 3 texts today from different numbers, and they're wanting to buy some flamingos that I'm selling. And I don't know.
Are you selling flamingos?
No,
What
but
about this painting?
someone wrote, "Hey,
Remember everybody wanted to buy this flamingo painting?
No, but they wouldn't. Did the flamingo painting? No, because it doesn't say like flamingo art. It says, "Good morning. Are your flamingos still available?" Sang, and then there's a phone number. And then someone else wrote me and said, "I'm interested in the flamingos."
Did you write them back?
Well, the second person I wrote back said, "You have the wrong number. I don't have flamingos."
And what'd they say?
Nothing.
Oh, wait, first of all, I didn't play a trick on you. I don't know if Louise.
Here, let me just ask them.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I would have done this.
Let me
Now that
see.
you're saying. Yeah,
Which
hit them back.
Flamingos. Do you think?
Is it a new scam?
Does someone think that I'm selling exotic birds, like black market?
I don't know. I always engage these people just to fuck with them. It's fun.
All right, which flamingos? Where did you see this posting?
There was one time we were
Don't
waiting.
want to sell you the wrong ones.
There was one time we were waiting to record the I don't know about that. Remember, and the guy called me about books, my book,
yeah.
and I told him I was
Wanted
Stephen.
to publish you.
That my name was Stephen King, and I had read The Shining, and he looked it up, and he goes, "Wow, good ratings!" And they still wanted to like publish it. They wanted to like publish it more to get like more sales or something. And I'm like, "What kind of scam is this book scam?" And he was like really impressed by my whole catalog of Stephen King. He was like, "Wow, you're very accomplished." I'm like, "Yes, I've made quite the career."
All right, let's see if
I
this.
could always use help, though. Can never sell enough books to Stephen King or movies. Well, I hope you sell the flamingos. You're not selling flamingos.
I wish I had flamingos to sell if there's this much interest in it.
Do they mean real flamingos?
Oh,
or
let me
like-
see if maybe did you mean a 17-foot travel trailer?
Yeah, do that.
Let me hit them up.
Yeah. Did you mean a 17-foot travel trailer with my face on it? Because we're ready to sell. We are full hazard.
Do you remember when I first got it wrapped? Right before I started the tour, I did a show at Common Space Brewery, and I had the trailer parked as like the back because it was like tail end of the pandemic, so we were doing shows outside. So I had the trailer parked behind the stage as like the backdrop, and then Ian Bagg was on stage and he was like, "Look at Dave's big face." He's like, "Is Forrest on the other side?"
Yeah.
Because he knew we bought it together. And then he's like, take a look at the trailer, guys. Dave's going to drive it across the country and back. And goes, and when it comes back, it's going to have a big dick spray painted on it.
Now, I remember the story of you driving down to San Diego with John Wynn and somebody pretended to give you the thumbs up and then went thumbs down.
No, they gave us a throat slash. They were like, burp. No, it's not that they were pretending to give us the thumbs up. They were like, this old man in a pickup truck comes up next to us and he's just like, burr, 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 burr. And I look over and the way my brain goes, I'm just like, hey, it's a fan. He likes it, right? I'm like, what's up, man? And he looks over and he just goes.
Yeah.
And then he just sped off.
Yeah. Well,
angry vegan.
It's weird. Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Okay, getting back to haphazardly.
Yeah.
What were you referring to that you can't like?
Well, when you put it on when you're trying to sell something online, the floodgates are open once you
excuses.
post.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like you've sold other stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love Facebook Marketplace. I'm a big garage sale guy, but you don't even have to do it anymore.
I'm not a fan.
Because you could just sell everything online for the most part.
Yeah, but you got to.
I just bought a weed whacker. My weed whacker died. I bought and the new weed whackers, they don't have the battery and plug option. You just can only do one or the other. And so I got the same exact weed whacker I had for $50 off a dude who it's been sitting in a garage for years. It was perfect condition. Found it on Facebook Marketplace like that. Met him in the parking lot of Nordstrom. We made the exchange. It's a great time to buy used stuff in history.
Yeah, but you got to meet weird people. I sold a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, man, I love that, though. I make so many friends that way. Like, there's people who I'm like, hey, if you have more of these, like, keep my number in your phone.
For every friend you make, there's 3 complete oddballs nut jobs. That, like, I haven't told that story about the guy that was kept polishing the watch. He was trying to get $5 off of the price we'd agreed on before we met at the goddamn storage unit. And then he dropped it.
But that's why you were doing it haphazardly. You weren't paying attention to the signs. Because you could kind of tell, like, oh, this guy's legit. I want to sell to this dude.
No, you can't. He seemed legit. He said, how much? Blah, blah. We agreed upon the price. I said, meet me. I met everyone at the storage unit because I had a bunch of storage units at the time.
Big mistake.
And you don't meet. No, you don't bring them to my house. I'm not coming to my house.
Oh, I thought the storage unit was. Okay, all right.
No, I met him in the parking lot of the storage unit because a lot of times it was furniture and things like that I was selling.
You could upsell them to something else. All right, that's smart.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And then the storage lockers that eventually will stop paying for, and then they'll just be sold on Storage Wars.
When that show first came out, I was like, this is the best show on TV. Storage Wars. I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to start flipping storage containers. Like, this is my new dream. Like, I thought it was the perfect show.
I like watching.
And then now it's been on so many. So I'm just like, all right, we get it.
I like watching the show, but it's complete bullshit. I just literally watched the Miami version of it the other day. It was on Vice or whatever. And it's such bullshit because they'll just be like this. They'll be like, yeah, we got some things in here. Boat, yeah, we get $30 for this. I'm like, in what world are you getting 30? Like, we got CD collection, $100. Shell, $50. And they're just like pricing out things that, number one, are way too high priced. And also, you haven't sold it yet. You can't tell me what you're going to get for it.
Well, right buyer for everything out there.
Yeah. Well, let's hope there's one for the trailer. But I have a storage unit full of stuff that I got to sell. I still got to sell some stuff. I sold a bunch of stuff. I gave away stuff. I made Louise take shit.
Yeah.
Forced them, apparently, right?
Yeah, no, there's stuff that I still don't know what I'm going to do with, but
you're a pack rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a hoarder. So I try to find the hoarders. I'm the opposite of, I don't want to have anything. If I could just get all of what I own down to a backpack, I'd be excited. Like stuff that I had to go, like a go bag. I'm like, this is all I need in this backpack. I can leave everything else here.
So you're not a knick-knack guy?
I have one shelf now. One shelf that I bought. A nice shelf, very nice shelf that I bought. And that is all of my knickknacks have to fit on that shelf. And I have like some books. I have a couple little sculpture things I like. I have like some like geodes and stuff. I like, like rocks and stuff. I've got a couple little wooden birds.
Which is like rocks that have special meaning?
No, just like I like to like learn about it. So I'll be like, oh, this is a such and such kind of crystal or rock. And then I have a book and I read about like the geological history and shit like that. I don't know anything about geology. I just kind of read it. And I think it's cool to have that. There's no spiritual connection to any of these crystals, even though people would see them and think they are. And those are probably worth good money because I've been in some of those crystal shops before and you're like, what the fuck? This is... They're like, this one's like $1,000, and it's just like a thing.
You have $1,000 crystal?
I'm sure I do, yeah.
You are Thanos.
I have a knife that's expensive too. That my grandfather used to collect knives.
Ooh.
And I kept the one that I really liked.
I have a knife collection. I have a matchbook collection. I have a stamp collection. I have a money collection. I have comic books.
Beer.
No, I got rid of the beer collection. I did keep the one valuable beer though, Billy beer from Billy Carter. It was President Carter's.
What are you doing with all these collections?
I just want to. I like to collect.
Does
things
your
when I was
wife
a
want
kid.
you to sell these?
She wants me to burn them.
Yeah. Well, why don't I help you sell this stuff with our trailer? I'm gonna be selling stuff too. You know what we should do?
I would sell it, but I want fair value.
Here's what we do: the Rose Bowl flea market.
Yeah.
You know what
just
I'm
go
talking
set it up.
Do you know what it is?
I don't think someone's going to come in and give me fair value for my Mad magazines from
There's
the
no
70s.
fair value. The fair value is whatever anyone offers you.
Does anyone want? I've a bunch of Mad magazines from the 1970s. I mean, I think someone would really be into that.
Dude, okay. Honestly, do you know the Rose Bowl flea market? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
The first Saturday or second Saturday of every month, there's a flea market around the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. It's massive. People set up there. And you I think it's like $100 for a stall or whatever. You got to get there at like 5 in the morning or something because it opens at like 5:30 in the morning. Huh?
I'm out.
You're always like, no. And then listen, then we set up a booth there and you bring all the stuff we want to sell because the people will buy. People will have are not going there just to try and just get deals necessarily. They're looking to see what stuff is cool there. I've got a lot of cool mid-century modern furniture and shit I can put in there. And then we also podcast and promote the podcast. That's a lot of people we can reach.
Oh, we could podcast from there?
We can record one. We could record one literally while we're selling stuff to people.
Okay, so it'll be like Antiques Roadshow.
People want to hear this. Yeah.
So here's the problem with that. If we go to a flea market, that's a dope-ass flea market, and then I sell something like, hey, congrats, Dave, you got rid of some junk. Here's $100. I'm gonna take this $100 and go shopping around the flea market and come up with more stuff that I started with.
And flipping those items.
Yeah.
Wow.
I gotta have this corn cob pipe.
Well, we're going to need some help selling it. This is where your family comes in. I have no family. I already can't do this.
Yeah.
So you give the money to your wife, and she doesn't allow you to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to send...
There's zero chance you get my wife to show up at this flea market.
Later. She doesn't have to show up early. You and I have to get there early instead of everything.
The time's not the problem. She just doesn't want to be there.
Okay. Well, you got kids. Yeah. Or, yeah.
All right, we can try it.
Louise, what do you think?
I'm in.
right.
I used to do like swap meets all the time. I don't know if it's the same thing.
I used to do garage sales a lot, so I have never done a flea market, but I imagine it's less stressful because at garage sales, they do that trick, where they're like, "How much is this purse?"
And then they shove a bunch of shit in the
$5,
purse.
cool, and they just keep walking around and putting shit
Yeah,
in. And then you have to do that weird thing where you're like, "Hey," because you don't really own a business, so you don't know how to do theft prevention. You're like, can I look in that purse? And they're like, "What the fuck?"
I don't want to stereotype, but you know who does that a lot?
Okay, hold on a second. When you say I don't want to stereotype and then you say something, it means you want to stereotype, just so you know.
No, I don't want to. It's just a thing.
You do. You do want to. You're doing it.
I've heard people say in Miami at garage sales, Haitian people do that a lot.
Okay.
A lot of that was a move.
How did that add to this podcast?
I'm just telling you. I'm backing up your claim that happens a lot in Miami.
I didn't say that it was Haitian people.
They'll grab a suitcase and they'll shove it full of clothes and other things and then go, how much you want for the suitcase?
I will tell you this. The last garage sale I did was in the Keys after my mom passed away. I sold a lot of stuff there. And there was no Haitian people at the garage sale.
And a lot of people did that move.
And people still stole stuff. Somebody stole my little Bose speaker that I was just playing tunes on so people could have like a nice little background thing, whatever. People still stole shit. And then they do the whole thing too like this. They're fucking, how much is this? And you're like, it's like $20 and they just drop it, forget it. You're like, fuck off.
It's broken. How much now?
Well, anyways, write to Dave on that one.
I got scammed. I got scammed one time. I was really, really, really hungover.
Is this more, you don't want to stereotype?
Well, no. I don't remember the ethnicities of these people. So I got really hammered at University of Miami. I was probably a freshman in college or whatever. And I was driving home and I'm at the red light and my mind's just in a haze. And this van pulls up next to me and they're like, hey, they're going crazy. And my windows are down and they're like, hey man, we just scored some free, we work at Best Buy or Circuit City or whatever it was back then. We scored some free speakers and dude, we can give you a good deal. And I'm like,
You didn't know this scam?
I mean, no, but I've seen it multiple times since then. People have pulled up with the same script a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Do they have that here?
I could use, someone did it in my house like
In LA?
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, they pulled up in front of my house. They were like, you're not going to believe this. I go, I believe it. I fell for this before 20 years ago, but you didn't invent this.
We got
scam.
great speaker. They show you tell them the scam. Tell the people the scam.
Well, they tell you that they happen to come across it. We work at Circuit City and they messed up on the invoice, so we just got these speakers for free, and they're like really good speakers. And I mean, we'll sell them to you for they're like $600 speakers. We'll sell them to you for like $200.
They show them to you.
Yeah, and the box is a really nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the actual thing, and maybe but usually it's
It's not the actual.
Usually it's
a scam.
cheap speakers in a good speaker box.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was. And so I was like, bro, I go, yeah, I'll buy these speakers. So the guy got in my car and so that I could drive to an ATM. And then I swear to God, he told me it was $150. So I was like, yeah, I mean, even if it's a scam, I mean, it's $150, right? So then as I'm paying him, he's like, oh no, 150 each. And then like an idiot, I was just like, oh, that's fair. And even though I know that's not what he said, so I paid him $300.
Because when the scammers are doing that, they're banking on people being polite.
Yeah.
And that taking advantage of people's kindness and people that are good. And you're almost too embarrassed to be like, no, forget it. Like, because you already came in my car.
Yeah, you've already been in my
this far.
car.
Yeah. You made it this far. I got to give you something. You've done so much work.
Yeah, you've really been kind this whole time,
Yeah,
you gave me compliments.
I don't want to make you feel bad, person I just met 10 minutes ago.
And so then I got home and I'm like, and then the speakers, they probably sucked, but I don't know the difference. And I had them for years. But this is where those speakers made their money back, is that anytime I had a garage sale, I'd put them out there and I put an astronomical price on them. It was like $500 or something, right?
Yeah.
And then people would, I don't know why these were such attractive speakers, but people would always see them, pull in, ask about them, and then be like, it's too much. But then I'm like, well, while you're here, I got this and that and whatever.
Yeah.
But those speakers were,
Drew people in.
they were my bait for so many garage sales over the years.
Yeah, well, what I'm telling you about this flea market is I have really nice furniture that people will be attracted to like fucking bugs.
Yeah, and then we're like, yo, do you want some stamps?
I don't mind selling it, but I'm going to be selling it for a price that's a lot.
Non-negotiable.
And at that particular flea market, there might be people that want to buy it there because just it's it's Pasadena and it's LA and people really like this furniture. But I am down to do that. I'll look into when the next one is and see if we're all in town. If not, we'll do the one after that.
I had a waterbed all through college and for years
talked
after.
about the waterbed on this podcast.
I have, and I sold it to that guy. Those speakers are what drew him in. I had the garage sale, and this guy pulls in with like a T-top Camaro and a mullet and sunglasses, and he's like, "How much are the speakers?" And I'm like, $500. And he's like, "Oh man," I go, "I got a waterbed." He's like, "For real?"
Yeah, T-top Camaro waterbed.
Yeah.
That's a definite connection.
And then my wife just wanted me to throw the waterbed away. She's like, "No one's gonna buy your old ass, dirty ass waterbed." I'm like, "There's a right buyer for everything." My grandma taught me one thing in this world:
That was it.
there's a right buyer for everything.
Well, let's get rid of some stuff in your house.
Yep. All right.
I need to like approve it before it goes next to my furniture in this.
Oh, for real?
Do you have anything you need to sell, Louise?
Nothing at all. I'm a hoarder.
I mean,
so
I'm
keeping
looking
it
around. There's a lot of shit you should sell here. What's
That statue?
What's that Turbo Man thing?
What?
Yeah, isn't that from Jingle All the Way or
Yeah.
something?
Okay, as long as you know, I thought you'd.
Is that the one from Jingle All the Way?
So the Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Jingle All the Way.
It was amazing Christmas
Didn't
vehicle.
Sinbad pass away?
No, he had
No,
a
had a
really
stroke,
pretty
right?
sick, yeah.
That sucks. Anyways, it's from that movie. This is a replica of the Turbo Man from that movie.
Yeah, they did a Walmart exclusive, and I bought 10 of them. So,
That was smart.
How
See,
many do you
that's a
have
good
left?
investment.
well, I gave one to each of my siblings, so technically I have 6.
Was that like?
You have 6 of them.
There's one open box. That's
Okay,
always-
all right. So you couldn't bring 2 or 3 of those to the flea market. I mean, you can make some money.
Well, they're not mine. I have one for myself, and I'm keeping that one. And I'm never
Who do they belong to?
Well, yeah.
my siblings. It was like my Christmas gift to them.
No, but you
No,
said
but you said you
bought
bought 10. You gave 4 away.
Yeah.
So now you have 6 that are yours.
Then I gave one to my uncle, one to my aunt.
But they're still here?
No,
Okay. How many do you have here?
6.
You have 6 that are yours.
Yeah.
You should sell 3 of them.
Well, this math isn't adding up.
You should sell yeah. You should sell 3 of them at the flea market.
It's like you
That
gave it
would
to.
sell.
Wait.
In
I
the
think you have
box?
to give it a few years though.
What do you mean a few years?
'Cause I think you
the
could
movie's
still-
30 years old.
But they
Sinbad had a stroke. Get Sinbad to sign it. You'll be good.
The value ain't gonna skyrocket. There's no event on the horizon.
Because
That's gonna
I think you could still buy them at Walmart is a thing. They just came out like 2 years ago. They're still available. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a little bit.
so that means a lot of people have this fucking
Yeah,
thing.
okay. We're not selling that. You have a lot of guitars.
Yep. Not even mine.
Okay, can't sell those. Yeah, I guess you don't have a lot of shit in here now. Break it down. Whatever that is. Some of those sombrero hats. A couple of our fans would like to get rid of those.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if we need to offend more people? They come in handy.
Sure. Well, I think there's plenty. You should sell some of the stuff that I gave you.
Yeah, honestly, make a profit.
All right. Well, look for the Mermen booth. We'll let you know when that happens. If anybody's in the LA area and wants to come out. Should we record a podcast there?
Sure. I think we should use it as podcast space every.
I was just talking about a
Don't sell anything. Just set up a podcast.
We should only talk about suicide during that. Anyways, I've been feeling real down. How much is this credenza? Ah, fuck.
I have a feeling there'll be a lot of people feeling you at the flea market.
Feeling me?
Yeah,
What do you mean feeling me?
there's probably a lot of There's probably
Oh.
a demographic of people that go to flea markets who are like, yeah, it's a good plan.
You think it's emo flea market or something?
I'm sure there's sad people there. Is all I'm saying.
I don't think people that get up to shop at 7 a.m. aren't sad. Yeah, well, you think we should just record a podcast? Yeah, I think not sell anything. We're like nothing's for sale. We're just recording a podcast. Get the fuck out of here.
We did it in space.
Yeah, we can just have guests on. I like it. All right, I think this is one of our first things that we should follow through with. That we kept saying we're gonna.
All right.
We haven't.
Let's work on it.
Fourth quarter.
All right, do we have to wrap up?
We got voicemails. I don't know if you guys want to do
Do
that.
a couple voicemails. Call it a day.
How many?
4 total.
How long are they?
We got a 1 minute, a 35-second, a 1 minute 11-second, and a 23-second.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah,
All
let's
we'll
plow
allow
through
this.
those.
We'll allow
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
All right.
Are there any repeat callers?
Of course.
Yeah, come on.
3 out of the 4, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we actually have one new one. So
Ooh. So yeah, I guess that.
Callers.
here we go.
This is where people tune out, except for the callers.
Buenos dias, marineros. Yo soy Borracho Juan from Arizona, one of the few homes of the Southwest Gila Monster. I just got done reading Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, and man, what a piece of work. You know, that's where the Judeo-Christian religions get a lot of their iconography for what hell would look like if it were a real place. Anyways, that got me thinking, you fellas are college educated. What's one of your favorite pieces of classical literature? For me, it's
question.
gotta be the Aeneid by Virgil.
Question. By the way.
Well,
Oh.
may you three sea dogs find tranquil waters until next time.
Okay.
Also, if you don't hear from me again, it's
Wait.
probably because my moonshine still went up and took me with it. Anyways, chin chin, and you sailors have a happy Pride Month.
Someone check on Drunk Drawn. That's what he said his name, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
from-
yeah. It's from Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah. He got a question. Good job, John.
Yeah. I think I've spoken to this multiple times.
He sounds like a Simpsons character.
He does really. High tides.
What's your favorite piece of classic? Does that have to be classical literature? He said.
That's what he said. Yeah.
It's tougher. I hate classical literature.
Yeah.
but-
I'm a Hemingway guy. I really liked
Name a book by Hemingway that you like.
Old Man in the Sea.
What happens in it?
An old man goes out fishing and catches a really big marlin, and he's got to row in, and then the sharks come, and he comes in, he's just got bones.
Because he ties to the side of his boat.
Yep.
It's a metaphor. For what?
Lying.
About reading the book.
But I think I've talked about it multiple times on this podcast that the Odyssey got me through college. Loved the Odyssey, and I learned that moving forward, I could just make every single paper that I wrote a comparison to the Odyssey. So like how macroeconomics is like the Odyssey written by Homer.
Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kill me.
And professors loved that shit.
Yeah. Classical literature. I don't.
How Cheevers the Swimmer mirrors the Odyssey.
I hate classical literature. I can't even think of one thing that I've finished in classical literature.
What about more modern, Lord of the Flies or Kill a Mockingbird?
Oh, I consider
Boo
that.
Radley's fun.
You know what book I really like that I just started rereading is it's called The Agony and the Ecstasy.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah?
yeah.
You know it?
I don't think I read it.
It's by Irving Stone, and it's a biographical account of Michelangelo's life, but it's written as like prose, like a story. It's not like doesn't read like a biography, and it's really interesting. And I was going to Italy, so I was going to reread it, but I just started rereading it. Good book, and you can learn all this crazy shit. Like he would sneak into these into like the tombs. He would he had a guy that would let him dissect bodies, which was it's illegal now, but back then was like insane.
Yeah,
Like,
who didn't do it back then?
No, you couldn't do any of that shit back then. But that's how he learned to. That's why when he did David and all the painting stuff, like he was so perfect at being able to paint the human figure and stuff and sculpt the human figure.
Because he's been inside of it.
Yeah, he basically studied the anatomy of humans like that. So yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. You know who's not surprising? A wonderful author is Jimmy Buffett.
Shut up.
Read multiple of his novels.
Ding, ding, ding,
Pirate
ding,
Looks
ding.
at 40.
Yeah, it's like all mystery murder shit, right?
Oh, yeah. That's his fiction. That stuff's good, too.
Nah. You know how I feel about Jimmy Buffett. All right, next one. Good one. Question there, John. Good job.
Here we go. New caller.
Hey.
Hey, fellas. Todd here, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just listening to the episode, we were talking about Bill Paxton and Forrest. I think you indicated Bill Paxton played the president on Independence Day.
I know where he's going.
Bill Pullman, bro.
Yeah, I know. Why did John win?
No hate.
Just common
I make a
knowledge.
mistake all the time, confusing people. But that leads to my question: what other famous people or actors or musicians that have you in the past previously mixed up and gotten confused on? Great show. Keep it up.
Yeah, first of all, don't say it's obvious because you were here when I was saying it and you didn't correct me.
Yeah, I didn't want to be rude.
Yeah, but our buddy
Wasn't
John,
Bill Paxton like a center for the Chicago Bulls?
No, they're both actors. But one was not. Bill Paxton wasn't in Independence Day. It was Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman.
But our buddy John Wynn texted me as he was listening to the episode, and he corrected me, and I was like,
Dummy.
yeah, but whatever. Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton's still sad he's dead, even though he wasn't in Titanic. Was he in Titanic? Yeah, he was in Titanic. I don't remember now, which he wasn't in Independence Day. Whatever. Confused. Who do you get confused?
Oh, I
It's
know.
always a name like that, though.
Yeah,
It's just the names are similar, and they're similar enough looking that I'll tell you which one I always would say wrong is the guy Jeff Daniels.
Yes.
From Dumb and Dumber, and then the dude abides from the Big
Yes,
Lebowski.
yes.
What's his name? See, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Who was the second one you said?
From the Big Lebowski.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges?
Jeff
Bridges.
Bridges. Jeff Bridges and Jeff
Yeah.
Daniels. I don't get them confused because they look different, but I'll say I'll say Jeff Bridges and Jeff Daniels, and I'm like, fuck, I mean Jeff Daniels and Jeff Bridges.
You're like, oh, Jeff Daniels is in White Squall, and you're like, that's an interesting choice. And then you see the poster, and you're like, oh, yeah, that guy.
It's Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White Squall.
Whose brother Bo Bridges is also an actor.
White Squall. Did you see that movie?
You've already mentioned the movie on this podcast. No, I've not seen it, but it's like
I've mentioned White Squall in this movie.
Yes. Do you remember I'm talking about White
Such
Squall?
a great name for a movie.
You
know what's better is
you
the
don't
book.
You don't remember mentioning White Squall? It's like kids. Dude, you've mentioned it. I know you have.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, Jeff Bridges, Jeff Daniels. I'll tell you another one. Kathy Bates and Meryl Streep. Always get them confused.
Oh, no, that's an easy one. No, I don't get that one mixed up.
Isn't Dylan McDermott? Because I know I used to confuse
yeah.
him with someone else because it's a very similar name.
Dylan McDermott and there's another guy. Not Dylan. Yeah, what the fuck?
It's not Dermot Moron. is
Dermot
it?
Mulrooney.
Mulrooney.
Yeah, there's Dermot Mulrooney and Dylan
yeah.
Dylan McDermott. Yeah, the names are similar, and yeah, obviously they're like a similar kind of like a similar race would be good, you know. Yeah, Dermot. I don't know what either of them look like, Dermot Mulrooney and Dylan McDermott, but I know they're actors, and you'll see their name like Dermot, Dimmitt, Dermot, You know, who's a pretty good actor that has a weird name. He was in the 3rd season of True Detective. He crushed it in that, and now he's getting more roles.
Oh, Stephen Dorff?
Stephen Dorff.
Yeah.
Terrible name. Terrible name.
Awesome name, dude.
Dorff.
It's like something you would name your frat brother. Like, what's up, Dorff?
Yeah, again, not cool. But man, for some reason his name Stephen Dorff just popped in my head when we were seeing Dermot. And
Yeah.
if you haven't seen season 3 of True Detective, very good. Season 2, 1's the best.
Yeah.
3's really good.
Yeah, goes 1, 3, 2.
I know.
2 you can just delete.
I know a popular mix-up with like actual looks-wise rather than names is Zach Braff and Dak Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
They say they're like identical. I see it, but
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like he's younger, right? I'll tell you who.
The two of them, and then also that guy who plays Kurt Warner in the.
No, I'll tell you who looks similar enough. What's his name? Barnholtz. Ike
Barinholtz.
Ike Barinholtz.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit like Marky Mark. Like Mark Wahlberg.
yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. There was one movie where Ike Barinholtz was. I just for a second, I'm like, man, that was pretty funny. And to be fair, Mark Wahlberg is funny, and the other guys, and he does comedy well. He should do more of it. But yeah, Ike Barinholtz. And then there's and who else looks similar? Here, isn't it the Cumberbatch and the guy that was in the imitation game, the Turing?
Ian Cumberbatch?
Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Eddie Rosman. Yeah. Don't they look some, I don't know, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. I feel like I used to get Mark Ruffalo mixed up with someone too. Luis, you look a little Mark Ruffalo-ish.
No.
Yeah.
Where are you looking?
Just making sure my camera was on, Luis.
Mark Ruffalo. He got done dirty in that movie. When I'm like into chick flicks, and
Wait, Mark Ruffalo's the Incredible Hulk, right?
he is. He's been in other stuff.
I feel like a lot of people get Ed Norton mixed up too, the name.
Ed Norton Jr.?
Yeah.
With who? So
His dad.
Ed Norton Sr. He was in a McDonald's commercial. Was he an actor, his dad? Ed Norton? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely was.
He was?
He was a very famous actor.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Next call.
Wait, are you for real?
Ed Norton Jr. Sr.?
Yeah. Isn't he like...
What do you mean he's a famous actor? I've never heard of Ed Norton Sr.
No, it's just Ed Norton.
Yeah, I've never heard of that because most people just say Ed Norton and they refer to Ed Norton Jr.
Oh, man, who am I thinking of? I could picture him cleaning. All right, play the next one. I'm going to look this up.
On the topic.
Hey, this is John Wynn.
Just mention that.
Forrest, you don't know that Bill Paxton is not the same as
Aggressive.
Bill Pullman?
Aggressive.
Bill Pullman was in Independence Day as the president. Bill Paxton was in
Shame him,
Alien.
John.
Getting dressed down.
Very disappointing, guys.
Yeah.
Really upset.
Well, it's official. More people have called in about the Pullman and Pull Paxton than me killing myself. So, so I guess people aren't worried. Yeah. More people. John didn't see.
How about Al Pacino knocking up like a 28-year-old?
Yeah.
What are you just saying things now?
He's gonna be an old dad.
Him and Robert De Niro, right?
Well, if you're gonna go with that, what about Bill Murray and Keelis?
Yeah.
Keelis. I don't know how you say her name. Do you say Keelis or Keelis?
I say Khalees.
I say Khalees.
Khalees. Yeah, milkshake. But she's in her 40s, right?
Yeah.
People are going like, I mean, it is a big age gap, but people are acting like she was like 25 or something. I'm like, she's almost 50.
Yeah, we already covered puppies.
All right. Sorry about Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton. He didn't have a question, John. You didn't have a question.
All right, well, we got one more.
All right, last one. Then we got to wrap it up.
How long is this one? Yeah.
Hey guys, Zach from Massachusetts.
Of course.
Real quick. So, love the 15-year suicide fact there for us, but you're missing one cool factor. Is that what you do is you take out a fuck ton of loans and max out every credit card they'll give you in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
live
that's
like
what I
a
said.
king.
That's what I said.
So again, when you die, they're not getting a penny anyway.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Dave, I just wanted to say, I feel like one of those guys who, with a group of guys, and you try getting into an inside joke, and you said something that was just mean and not funny. I do love you. I said what I said because in the episode I had been listening to, you talked about how that guy called you tragically average and mayonnaise Dave story. So it was a good river. I really didn't get anything by it. I love you, man. At the beginning of the episode, Forrest pointed out that you're still a little bitter about it. Other than that, I don't really know what you guys want from these phone calls because, like,
we want a question.
You didn't want my idea for a segment, so I'm just going to call every week, and I don't blame you for not putting me on the air, but I hope you guys.
So he's going to fix it by just calling every week.
First of all, Zach,
all right. Hey, Zach.
Now I'm upset that you called and apologized to Dave. So you're going to have to apologize to me for apologizing to Dave because you shouldn't have apologized.
Nah, we're cool, Zach. I love you too, buddy. Yeah. Thanks for clearing it up that you don't think I'm average, that you think I'm above average, and I appreciate you.
All right. I'm going to be at the Comedy Nest July 6th through the 8th in Montreal, Canada. Please come to that. July 9th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Come to that. And then I've got dates in Escondido and San Diego, and we're in Florida in September. Forshaw.net. Go to that. Why are you interrupting me? Follow me on Instagram, Forshaw.
Oh, it's goddamn Twitter. Craigslist. Hello, I'm wondering if the plastic flamingos listed on the Craigslist are still available. Please be so kind and let me know what address at what time you are available. Thank you. Regards, Thomas. What is up? Why would this many people be interested in plastic flamingos anyways? That's not like a hot item.
I don't know, but I'm going.
Someone's playing it.
Is this Craigslist in LA?
I mean, I have no idea. I mean, that's where the numbers are coming from. This is a 424 number. This has got to be a prank.
Of course it's a prank.
Thank you. Regards, Thomas. I'm going to be in Bakersfield this weekend on Sunday, guys. It's going to be real fun. Salty's Barbecue is going to team up and provide the food with the comedy club, the Well Comedy Club, Bakersfield. And then the last weekend of this month, which is the 29th to July 1st, I'm going to be at the Schaumburg Improv in the Chicago area. If you don't live in the Chicago area, everyone knows someone who lives in the Chicago area. Send them out to the Schaumburg Improv. Next weekend. DaveWilliamsonComedy.com for tickets. Hope to see you out there.
Wait, I'm looking up Flamingos here.
All right, we got to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, you don't want me to do it on the air?
At Dave W. Comedy on all the social medias.
You don't want me to do it on the air?
Well, I have another podcast in 10 minutes.
Ooh, this is free.
What? Is it free Flamingos with my phone number on it?
I don't know. Yes.
No, stop it. You found that?
That's your phone number, right? I just put Flamingos on Craigslist.
Oh, my God.
Here, you can write to them, have it take it down.
It's got my neighborhood, too.
Yeah.
Someone did this on purpose.
Well, yeah. There's only one picture.
Oh, son of a bitch. I got to go.
The Mermen.